left-hander Pat Connaughton. 0-1 on the year, 3.37 ERA. Big Pat 6'5" out of Arlington, Massachusetts. The sophomore is still making that transition over from the basketball team. Making his third start of the year in 5 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. They're both earned. 3 strikeouts and 3 walks, and opponents are batting just .167 against Connaughton. Defensively, he's behind the plate for Pat Connaughton. Connaughton will throw that fastball in there when he's on, around 94, 95 miles an hour. He also has a curve and a change. 38th round draft pick by the San Diego Padres coming out of high school, but he probably would have gone in the top 5 rounds had he not decided to play basketball. So Connaughton has finished his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to go. The game time temperature 46 degrees. The wind again out of the north at about 15 miles an hour. It will deter a fly ball hit to left. It will help a fly ball hit to right. Adam Goss, the second baseman for Villanova, stands in. Goss batting .204 for the year. 1 homer and 6 runs batted in. A lot of the crowd still filing into Frank Eck Stadium, our best crowd of the season so far, and we're glad you're with us on harvestandund.com. Connaughton in his gold jersey with the blue cap goes into the windup, and the first pitch to the left-hand hitting Goss misses outside for ball 1. Goss, a freshman out of Bel Air, Texas. Little guy, 5'9", 167 pounds, and therefore he draws a lot of walks. He leads the team with 16. 1-0 pitch down the middle for a strike on the fastball. It's 1-1. A ball and a strike as Connaughton goes into his windup. And the big fella with the 1-1 pitch. Another fastball, this one on the outside corner. It's 1-2. And now Eric Jagailo, the third baseman, will back up a little bit as the bunt's likely off with 2 strikes. Outfield playing shallow for Goss, except for Katsoulis and Wright. 1-2 pitch, swing and a tap foul up the first base side. That one rolls past the first base coach for Villanova, Derek Shunk. Joe Godry himself, I believe, coaching over at third today. But that might be Rod Johnson working at third for the Wildcats. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Goss. And Connaughton's next delivery misses low with a fastball. It's 2-2. So far, a steady diet of fastballs from Connaughton. Villanova, a team that really likes to work the count. That has been their mode since Joe Godry took over. Try to get deep in the count, force team starters out, and get into bullpens. 2-2 pitch. That one misses outside as well, and Connaughton has gone full on Goss at 3-2. Connaughton on a pitch count again tonight. Probably 75 would be his max, and Mick Aoki, as you heard on the pregame show, said the Irish would go on the conservative side of that as Goss fouls that one back and out of play, and the count holds full at 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. DeSico, the second baseman, playing out on the outfield grass. Everybody else back on the dirt here at Frank Eck. And now the payoff pitch to Goss, a swing and a high foul ball out of play on the third base side, and Goss spoiling a lot of pitches early and giving his teammates a chance to get a look at Connaughton here as the count holds at 3-2. It's not unusual for Connaughton to throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, kind of find his vibe a little bit, and then start mowing people down in the second. 3-2 pitch to Goss, a fastball that misses high and away, and Adam Goss draws his 17th walk of the year with a well-earned base on balls. Brings up Tyler Siaka, the shortstop. Siaka batting .293 with a homer and 11 RBI. He leads the team in slugging percentage. Pretty good handler of the bat. Goss is 2 out of 3 in steals. Joe Godry, a coach that likes to bunt a lot. We'll see if he's bunting with Siaka right here. Jagailo thinks he is. Eric in on the infield grass. Connaughton checks the runner, the pitch. Siaka shows no signs of bunting there as he takes low for a ball. It's 1-0. Siaka played in the Cape Cod League over the summer, played for Harwich. He struggled against Irish pitching last year, only going 1 out of 9 against him. 1-0 pitch from Connaughton. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Siaka, a preseason All-Big East selection. Terrific situational hitter, and that's why they like to bat him in the number 2 slot. He's got a big hole on the right side as DeSico shades towards the middle of the diamond, and Mancini holds on Goss. 1-1 pitch coming from Connaughton. Here it is. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and that was a dandy curve by Connaughton. Big break to it, and the count goes to 1-2. That's a pitch he did not show to Goss for whatever reason, but he breaks one off here for Siaka and gets the big wave and a miss. It's 1-2 now. Let's see if Connaughton can finish off this hitter. He was not able to finish off Goss. Goss with a 3-step lead over at first. Connaughton throws over there, and Goss dives back in safely. The Irish are last in the Big East in terms of pickoffs this year, but they've done a good job of helping to hold runners close. 1-2 the count on Siaka, the right-handed hitter, foot at the back of the right-hand batter's box, and the pitch bounces in. Good stop by Forrest Johnson, and the count goes to 2-2. Whatever that pitch was, it seemed to just stick in Pat's hand that time, and Forrest wants a new baseball for his pitcher. 2-2 the count on Siaka, who had a big 3-hit day on Wednesday in Villanova's win over LaSalle. The Wildcats have won 2 in a row coming in here tonight. 2-2 the count. And Connaughton delivers that one low and inside, and he goes full on his second straight batter. It's 3-2 to Siaka. It's not the way to rack up a lot of innings. That's for sure. So let's see if Villanova decides to send the runner Goss here on the 3-2 pitch to Siaka. One of their better contact hitters. There goes Goss, the pitch high for ball 4. And Pat Connaughton has walked the first 2 batters he's faced. Forrest Johnson will go out to have a chat with his pitcher as Steve Schrenk, the left fielder, comes to bat. Schrenk on the season, batting .255. No homers, his 11 RBI tie him for the team lead with Siaka. He, too, is a good butter, left-handed hitter. A senior out of Brigantine, New Jersey. 5'8", 197 pounds. So the Irish would love to be able to turn 2 here, but let's see if Schrenk is bunting with runners on first and second. He is, pulls the bat back and takes a low and in for ball 1. So Connaughton walks the first 2 batters he faces, and behind in the count here to Schrenk. Schrenk crowding the plate in that left-hand box. Now squares around a bunt. He pulls it back again and takes outside. It's 2-0. Connaughton's parents standing at the back row of the ballpark today and looking on a little nervously as Chuck Ristano, the pitching coach, goes out to the mound to have a word with his protege, Pat Connaughton. Villanova, as we mentioned, a team that has really struggled throughout the year. They started out 0-6 on the season. They lost to the likes of Florida State 3 straight. Well, there's no sin in that. They lost to Valparaiso and Northeastern. But then you look at some of the other teams they've lost to. Central Connecticut, the University of the Sciences, shut them out 1-0. And yet they've got Notre Dame in trouble here in the very first inning with runners on first and second. And a 2-0 count on the batter, Steve Schrenk. Just shows you never know what you're going to see when you come to the ballpark. The mound conference is over, and Connaughton checks the runners at second and first. Again, Schrenk squares to bunt, and this time takes the bat back and takes a strike. It's 2-1. Well, let's see if he's still bunting here. The corner infielders so far have been moving towards the plate with every pitch. Mancini over at first, Jagailo at third. The bunt laid down foul, and the count goes to 2-2. So Schrenk's inability to execute so far on the sacrifice, we'll see if that comes back to haunt the Wildcats here. Schrenk has bounced into 2 double plays this season. The runners at first and second. Now Mancini plays behind the runner over at first, and Jagailo backs up to even with the bag at third. Schrenk still squaring around the bunt, but he pulls the bat back and smacks it into center field. A base hit. Markston charges. They'll hold the runner at third. The bases are loaded with nobody out. So the old Butcher Boy play works for Villanova there as Schrenk shortens up on the bat and just chops that line drive past Connaughton's head. into center field. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's Brandon Carr, the DH. Carr, their top hitter at .325. No homers and 5 runs batted in. So far, Villanova not at all impressed with Connaughton. And the pitch by Pat, line towards short. Richards has it. Everybody gets back to the base, 1 out. So Connaughton keeps that ball on the infield as he was able to jam Carr. And now here's Kevin Jewett, the third baseman. Jewett batting .237. No homers, 7 runs batted in. He'll bat from the right side of the plate. Freshman out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. He has been not a very good contact hitter this year. 20 strikeouts and 59 at-bats for Jewett. We'll see if Connaughton can exploit that here. First pitch from Pat. Fastball down the middle for a strike. 0-1. Villanova loaded the bases with the first 3 hitters of the game. Connaughton induced Carr to line out to short. Now working on Jewett. Notre Dame hoping it can turn its 18th double play of the year right here. 0-1 pitch. Fastball low. The count goes to 1-1. Connaughton keeps blowing on that right hand on this chilly evening. Working from the stretch. Jewett levels his red bat over the plate. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Connaughton blowing that pitch right by him. He had good location, kept the ball down right there. Goss, the runner at third, Siaka at second, Schrenk at first. They all take their leads. Mancini playing in front of the runner at first base. 1-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball to short. Richards to second for 1. The relay to first. That's a double play. 6-4-3, and the Irish get out of the inning unscathed with DP number 18 of the year. Worse week than the Scarlet Knights. Here's Pat Connaughton's first pitch to the leadoff hitter of the inning, Max Bierman. He hits a sky-high pop-up to shortstop Lane Richards. Drifting under it, had to make the two-hand catch as the wind started to take it away from him. And Bierman was almost to second base by the time that came down. If there's rain tomorrow, you'll know why. 1 down in the inning. Here's Brandon Clark, the catcher. Clark batting .238, homer and 4 runs batted in. Clark will bat from the right side of the plate and doing some housekeeping there. He's a senior out of Spring, Texas. Kind of had a little bit of an odyssey in his collegiate career. Started off at the University of New Orleans, then went to Northeast Texas Community College as he takes the fastball inside for ball 1. And wound up working his way to Villanova. Started 20 games last year, batted .306. And the average down to .238 this year as he takes a strike at the inside corner on the knees. And it's 1-1. Ball and a strike, the count on the Villanova catcher Clark. Connaughton working quickly with nobody on base and pours another fastball in there at the knees for a strike. It's 1-2. One good thing, despite his wildness tonight, is Connaughton has done a good job of keeping the ball low, and that keeps him from getting in trouble. 1-2, curveball, strike 3. Oh, Clark stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he'll go back to the dugout with Connaughton's first strikeout of the game. And for Pat Connaughton, that's more productivity on the baseball diamond than he had against Villanova on the basketball court this year. He did not score a point against the Wildcats this basketball season. He had a tremendous game against them in 2011 as he misses high with the first pitch to Connor Jones, 1-0. So he gets 1 strikeout tonight and surpasses his point total from basketball this year against the Cats. Jones takes a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Jones batting .157. 1 homer and 9 RBI. They were really counting on this guy to be the power guy this year, and he still might be, but he's got to be able to make contact. He has fanned 37 times in 83 at-bats. He just took a hook on the outside corner for strike 2. So Connaughton has him right where he wants him now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Connaughton into the windup, and the big right-hander's curveball misses down low. It's 2-2. Good idea, because I don't think Jones would have had any shot at that. In fact, you might want to come right back with that pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Jones, and the delivery, a fastball that missed upstairs. It's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Villanova and Notre Dame scoreless here in the top of the second. Base is empty. And Connaughton's payoff pitch, fastball that missed high and away for ball 4. So he let Jones wriggle off the hook. 3rd walk of the game for Connaughton, and it brings up the number 9 hitter, Paul Rambo. Rambo, a veteran on this Villanova team, batting .253, no homers and 4 runs batted in. And despite the fact that it sounds like the action hero, not spelled the same way, he's a senior from Chicago, has a lot of fans here tonight. 6 foot, 180-pound center fielder. He had a walk-off single to beat the Irish in a game last year at Plymouth Meeting. Connaughton's first pitch, in there for a strike on the fastball. It's 0-1. Last year, Rambo batted .282, and just about like everybody else in the Villanova lineup, he's seen a drop in that this season. Short lead over at first base for Jones. Connaughton nods his head in agreement with the sign. The 0-1 pitch, a curveball in the dirt, good stop by Forrest Johnson, and the count goes to 1-1. Gilo doing some landscaping over by third base. He's going to back up and play even with the bag. Mancini holding on the runner at first. Connaughton ready for the 1-1 pitch. A fastball at the knees for a strike. It's 1-2. Well, this is the same count that he had on Connor Jones, but he let Jones get away with a walk. Let's see what he can come back with here against Rambo. Rambo levels that bat over the plate. And now Connaughton's ready for the 1-2 delivery. Instead, a throw to first, and they got him picked off. Jones froze like a deer in headlights over there. And the next thing you know, Mancini had the tag on him. So Wildcats leading off the third with Paul Rambo at the plate. He was there when Connor Jones got picked off to end the second. He shows bunt and takes the ball down low for ball 1. Rambo, the center fielder for the Wildcats, batting in the 9-hole. And the next pitch misses high. The count goes to 2-0. Rambo was a real thorn in the Irish side during that series last year. We mentioned the walk-off single. He also went 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, a run score, and an RBI, and was hit by a pitch twice in one of those games. He takes ball 3 high from Connaughton, who has been very wild tonight. No action yet in the Irish pen, but there might be shortly. 3-0 pitch. That's on the outside corner for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1. 3 balls and a strike on Rambo. Connaughton ready to throw pitch number 40 of the game, and that one's in there for a strike as well. It's 3-2. He's gone to the full count on a number of hitters tonight. And actually, I stand corrected. That was pitch number 44. Number 45 coming right now. Fastball hit on the ground, foul down the third base line. Jagailo gave it a good run, but couldn't get there, and so now Danny Slania will go down by the bullpen to retrieve that one. And the good news on Slania is he is cleared to play tonight. Healthy and ready to go after having that tightness in his shoulder that kept him out of the last game of the Louisville series and then the other 2 games this week. But the Hoss is ready to be ridden again. 3-2 delivery, and Connaughton misses down low for ball 4, his 4th walk already in the first 9 batters. Brings up Adam Goss, the second baseman. He was a walk recipient back in the first inning. And you have to keep an eye on Rambo. He's the leading stolen base man on this Villanova team with 8 of them so far this year. Gets off to about a 2.5-step lead. Connaughton comes to the plate. Goss shows bunt and fouls it back to the backstop. It's 0-1. So far, Villanova has been unsuccessful in every effort to get the bunt down tonight. It worked to Schrenk's benefit in the first inning. With runners at first and second, he failed twice to bunt, showed bunt on a 3-2 pitch, and lined it back through the box for a base hit. No balls and a strike to Goss. Again, Rambo with the lead. Connaughton comes to the plate and misses high. The count goes to 1-1. Goss comes from a baseball family. His father played baseball at Wyoming back in the early 80s, was an outfielder there. Family has moved around a little bit. He was born in St. Louis, but his hometown, Bel Air, Texas. High fly ball, short left field. Coming over by the line and making the one-hand catch is Ryan Bull, and there's one away here in the third. One down for Tyler Siaka, the shortstop. Siaka also walked his first time up. Connaughton, as we mentioned on a pitch count tonight, 75 will probably be the cap for Pap. And then we're likely to see either Sean Fitzgerald or Nick McCarty. Siaka, right-handed hitter, batting around 292 coming in. And the first pitch is a curveball that misses low for ball one. Siaka, a senior out of Staten Island, New York, 5'10", 173 pounds. He has had an injury-riddled career at Villanova and yet still looked at as a potential major league prospect. Connaughton ready for the 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. A fastball grounded foul down the third baseline. Oh, it just missed the outside of the bag. A diving Jagailo couldn't field it, and the Irish get a break there as that ball had just enough banana in it to slice its way foul. A ball and a strike, the count on Siaka. He was a second-team All-Big East selection last year and the Philadelphia Big Five Player of the Year. He ranked in the top 10 in the Big East in 6 categories on offense last season. 1-1 the count. Rambo takes his lead at first. He holds in the pitch. Foul to the Irish backstop. It's 1-2. But we mentioned the injuries for Siaka as a freshman. First game he ever played is down at LSU. They have a third-rounder by the name of Micah Gibbs, who hits a line drive so hard that as Siaka catches it, he breaks his finger. Bleeding from the tip of his finger, it was all over his uniform. He didn't realize it till his teammates told him. 1-2 the count now. And Connaughton ready to deliver. The pitch misses way outside, 2-2. At least this time the ball lets me finish the story. The second injury came in 2011. He tore his labrum. He missed all of that season. Got a medical red shirt for the year. So here he is in 2013, finishing up his Villanova baseball career and hoping to move on to a professional career. The 2-2 pitch goes under the glove of Johnson and all the way to the backstop. It's a wild pitch for Connaughton, puts a runner in scoring position with one out, and raises the count to 3-2 on Siaka. And right now, for whatever reason, Connaughton is really having problems locating the strike zone. Frank DeSico, the Irish co-captain, comes in and has a word with Pat to try to settle him down. So 3-2, the count on Siaka with Rambo at second. And Villanova threatening to take the lead right here. Connaughton comes set, checks the runner. And once again, here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball fouled into the Irish dugout, and the count holds at 3-2. You have to figure with the two lowest scoring teams in the Big East, runs are going to be at a premium this whole series. So breaking out on top in a game, very key for both of these teams. So 3-2, misses down low. Connaughton issues his 5th free pass of the game. There's runners at first and second, and here's Steve Schrenk, the left fielder. Schrenk looking into the Villanova dugout at head coach Joe Godry. Joe now in his 12th season at the helm of the Wildcats. And he'd love to come in here and get his first victory ever at Frank Eck Stadium. Villanova has played here 17 times. They have lost 16 and tied once. But they have runners at first and second with one away for Schrenk, who had a base hit his first time up. And the pitch fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Those of you who have been around the city of South Bend for a while may remember a minor league pitcher by the name of Steve Schrenk, who was on the early South Bend White Sox teams. In fact, I think he might have been on the first one we ever had here in South Bend. He is no relation to this Schrenk. No balls and a strike to count on the left-handed hitter out of Brigantine, New Jersey. Steve Schrenk, who was a minor league pitcher, is now the minor league pitching coordinator for the Philadelphia Phillies. He had a cup of coffee with the White Sox and the Phillies during his career. 0-1 the count, and the pitch from Connaughton. Swinging a little looper into short right field, but DeSico's backing up, and he can make the catch on that. There's 2 down, and it brings up Brandon Carr, the DH. Connaughton giving that pitch in on the fist of Schrenk that time and popping him up. Carr lined out to Lane Richards back in the first inning. He's batting .325 to lead the ball club. No homers and 5 RBIs. So Connaughton far from out of the woods right here as he faces the left-handed hitting DH. Rambo takes his lead at second. Siaka over at first. And the first pitch fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Carr, a sophomore out of Danville, California. Big, slender young man, 6'4", 198 pounds. Came out of high school after being an Under Armour preseason All-American and went to Villanova because of the academics. He was a terrific student in high school and apparently still is. No balls and a strike. The pitch from Connaughton. Fastball misses low, and the count goes to 1-1. Pat, an all-state selection in both baseball and basketball. In fact, the rare combination coming out of the state of Massachusetts. Baseball Player of the Year and Mr. Basketball in the state of Massachusetts. You hate to use the word because it has some different connotations, but he is a freakish athlete. Throw over to first, another pickoff for Connaughton. He picks off Siaka over at first base, who took the lead a little too far. Second pickoff of the day for Connaughton, and the inning is over. No runs, no. Limiting the Wildcats to only 1 hit, but he's walked 5 batters in the game so far. First pitch misses down low for ball 1. And Connaughton, if he's not careful, might hit that pitch count by the time this inning's over. The 1-0 pitch to Carr, a swing and a fly ball into center field. Charlie Markson running over, so does Ryan Bull, but Markson is the captain. He makes the call on the catch. And there's 1 down here in the 4th. Brings up Kevin Jewett, the third baseman. Jewett had the key at bat in this game so far today. With the bases loaded and 1 out in the first inning, he rolled into a 6-4-3 double play to get Connaughton out of the jam. Jewett, a right-handed hitter. And Connaughton's first pitch is laced fair down the third base line and towards the corner. Bull will go chase it down, but Jewett's on his way to second with his team-high 6th double of the year. So a 1-out double for Jewett, just the second hit for the Wildcats. But once again, they're going to have men on base in scoring position, and now there is activity in the Irish bullpen. Pair of right-handers throwing down there. Nick McCarty, and it looks like it could be Donnie Hissa. So runner on second, only 1 out. Here's Max Bierman, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Bierman popped out to Lane Richards to start the second. Connaughton's first pitch to Bierman, a breaking ball that didn't break. It just stayed up high for ball 1. Bierman has struggled at the plate this year, batting .173. No homers and 4 runs batted in. Freshman out of Tampa, Florida. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit towards right center field. Markson got a late break, can't get there. It drops in for a hit. They're going to hold the runner at third as Markson hurried the ball in. And now runners at the corners for Villanova with only 1 out for Brandon Clark, the catcher. The wind pushed that ball away from Markson, I think, a little bit more than he thought it would. And by the time Charlie could get to it, he decided instead of diving for it, just play it on the hop, and that was probably the smart play. It keeps a run from scoring. Clark was a strikeout victim of Connaughton his first time up, and Pat wouldn't mind repeating the feat right here. Outfield playing straight away for Clark, who has a homer and 4 RBI on the season. That home run came against Pennsylvania this week. It's the first of his career. He shows bunt and takes a strike. It's 0-1. If you followed the Irish all year, you know that 2 suicide squeezes that have been attempted against Notre Dame have failed. One of them by USC wound up in a game-ending double play. 0-1 the count on Clark. Jewett at third, Bierman at first, and the pitch. Again, the bunt up the first base side, but it rolls foul. Good thing Mancini would have had no way of throwing out Kevin Jewett at home. Now the count at 0-2. Clark had a big day last year against Xavier, went 3 for 4 with 3 RBI against the Musketeers. Trying to give it a big RBI ride here for the Wildcats. Runners at first and third. The Irish would love to turn their second double play of the game. The 0-2 pitch bounces in. Johnson keeps it in front of him, keeps the runner from advancing. And the count goes to 1-2. They're here from Buchanan, Michigan, watching the ball game today. Home of the Bucks. Connaughton comes set. And now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced right back to Pat. He'll throw to short for 1. The relay to first. That's a double play. And the Irish are out of the inning again. 1-6-3 on the second twin killing of the day. It's just what Dr. Chuck ordered, isn't it? No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. And the 3.5. Notre Dame, 0. Villanova, 0 on. Haggerty comes set. Markson a good lead at second. And the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle into center field, base hit. Markson gets the go-ahead from Woods. Rambo throws to the plate, the slide, he's safe. That's a winner.